Now, you've probably heard that LinkedIn is a gold mine for B2B leads, which it absolutely is. But there's this voice in your head that's thinking, well, this is just not going to work for me. My industry is different. And whether you're actually in manufacturing, law, finance, or any traditional B2B space, this one belief is actually costing you an absolute fortune. So throughout this video, I'm going to dismantle that myth and show you why the system for generating leads on LinkedIn actually works for any B2B service provider. Now, one of the most common objections that I hear is that my clients are old school. They don't use social media, or our sales process is all about relationships that have been built over the years. And this belief, while it is understandable, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy for you, because you won't actually, if you believe that it's not going to work and you don't try, then you're not going to actually get any results. And that actually proves that you were right all along. But you're not necessarily, you've just created this closed loop, which is basically keeping you stuck. So what's the alternative, right? You're left relying on these outdated, inefficient, and expensive methods, cold calling, trade shows, unpredictable trickle of referrals, and you're just watching the world shift online, and you're feeling this sense of anxiety potentially, in a way that you're just getting left behind because you're working harder than ever, but your growth is flatlined because you're operating with a playbook that's like a decade old. So the critical shift that you need to have in your perspective is that you're not selling to an industry, you're selling to a human decision maker within that industry, right? And regardless of their job title, whether they're a CEO, CFO, director of operations, that human is on LinkedIn, right? The platform is industry agnostic because human behavior is universal at the end of the day. Decision makers use LinkedIn to vet vendors, and there's 65 million decision makers and 1.2 billion members on the platform. They're researching solutions on there, and they're building their professional network no matter what they sell. So let's look at some of the data. LinkedIn research shows that 82% of all B2B buyers review a company's LinkedIn profile before they make a purchase, right? So this isn't 82% of tech buyers or marketing buyers, it's 82% of all B2B buyers, right? Take note of that. So the head of procurement at a manufacturing plant, the partner at a law firm, the CFO at a financial institution, they're all using LinkedIn to validate you, right? And so if you're not there, or if your presence is weak, then you're failing their test before you even get a chance to speak with them. Now, the tactics might change slightly, but the principles of B2B sales are generally eternal, right? People buy from experts that they know, they like, and they trust. So your industry doesn't actually change that. A LinkedIn profile optimized to showcase your authority and content that consistently provides value, that's the most efficient way to build trust that's actually going to scale. And it works for a SaaS company, it works for a company that sells ball bearings. The delivery mechanism is modern, but the psychology is actually timeless. So this is why a system is so crucial, because a good system, it's not based on flimsy industry-specific tactics. It's actually based on the foundational principles of building authority and then converting attention. So whether you're selling to a tech startup or in a 100-year-old construction firm, ultimately you need a consistent way to demonstrate your expertise and a process to turn that expertise into a conversation. The system is really strategic content, authority positioning, and a way to convert to actual conversations. And that's universally adaptable to any B2B industry. Now, this system is adaptable to the nuances of any market, but if you'd like support with actually understanding how to make this happen in the fastest way possible, I've left a link in the description box below of this video where you can see what it would take to have a bit of support in doing this. But I do want to dismantle this really once and for all, because the idea that your industry is different is really just a limiting belief ultimately, because the truth is that you're selling to people, and those people are on LinkedIn. So the principles of building trust and authority, they are universal. So by focusing on your buyer and not your industry, and implementing a consistent system, you can then generate leads no matter how traditional or unique your business actually is. So imagine to yourself that your competitors, they're still the ones relying on cold calls, trade shows, while as you got a predictable stream of inbound leads that are coming directly from LinkedIn. So think about actually becoming the most visible, trusted authority in your niche. This isn't a fantasy. This is actually what happens when you embrace the platform where your buyers are actually spending their time, and you use a proven system to actually engage them. That way you can lead your industry in its digital transformation. Now, if you want support in doing this to turn LinkedIn into your #1 acquisition channel on autopilot, and you want it to all be done for you while you focus on growing and scaling your business, I've left a link in the description box below of this video where you can learn a bit more about what it would look like to have our support, where we can take control of this while, again, you continue focusing on growing and scaling. Now, if you did find this particular video helpful, I'd appreciate if you took a second to hit the like button, to leave a thoughtful comment, and also to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future content. Outside of that, I hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.